Hello everyone, welcome to the Movie Lovers Season 3. Today we will have three speakers to analyze two excellent movies, Birdman and Black Swan.
So I'm going to talk about the similarities between Birdman and Black Swan. First, in setting. Both stories happen in New York City. Birdman started at Broadway, and Black Swan began at a New York City ballet company. The place where the story happened is the same. Also, both movies are surrounded by stages. In Birdman, Regan was a famous actor in Broadway, and he acted Birdman many decades ago, which was very well known by people. But now, he's lame and not that popular anymore. He wanted to get back to stage by the story What We Talk About When We Talk About Love, written by Raymond Carver. Meanwhile, in Black Swan, Nina is a hardworking ballet dancer and she makes so much effort for both white and black swan roles. All she wanted is to get on the stage. There are also some similarities in themes and social topics. First is lesbian. In Birdman, we can easily see that Lassie and Laura kiss and touch each other in the train room, and their reaction was really weird just because they could not have respect from other people, and they are empty inside. On the other hand, in Black Swan, Nina and Lily got out of control because they were addicted by drugs and Nina is manipulated by the temptation. Finally, they lost themselves and did crazy things even though it is not true. Second is imagination. Furthermore, in Birdman, Regan always thought that he had superpower and he could move things by his finger, but actually he couldn't. All he did was throwing things with his hands, and also he thought that he could fly above the New York City without any help. But the truth was he was taking taxi and forgot to pay. We can absolutely see that he sometimes lived in his imagination. This also happens in the movie Black Swan. Nina was an innocent girl in the beginning, but when she had a dream about the show, she had changed dramatically. She began to see something that was creepy, but it was fake. For example, she thought that there were dead skins on his finger, but after she pulled it out, it was actually nothing on it. As a result, imagination plays a vital part during two movies. The third is suicide. We can conclude that these two movies are actually tragedy but meaningful. In Birdman, Regan shot himself with a gun, maybe because he finally knew the real thing about his life and he could pass that step by committing a suicide. But in the end of the movie, we cannot distinguish that he is dead or not, because Sam's expression is elusive. In Black Swan, Nina committed a crime on Lily in the train room because of her rage, but all this action was her imagination. As a matter of fact, she committed a suicide on the stage. The fragment that she used to murder Lily appeared on her stomach, and she lay on the blanket on the stage with a mystic smile, even though we cannot see if she's dead or not, but we can tell that she's released. The last but not least, Birdman, Bird Human Like. Most common point between two movies is both actors are related to Bird Human Like. In Birdman, we can obviously see that Birdman is just a man with black wings and armors. In Black Swan, she wore either as an innocent white swan or an evil black swan.
My topic is characterization about the black swan between the birdmen. There are three biggest similarities between both movies. First, the two antagonists in both films is a bitchy female of a certain age who lives in criticize them. For Nina, it's a mother Erica, a former ballerina herself. For Regan Thompson, it's a cruel theater critic Tabitha Nina and Regan Thompson both explode in a fever-pitched rage at this woman just before going completely crazy. But that woman still ends up in the audience at their debut and final performance. Second, dichotomy is a major factor in Black Swan. As Nina perfectly embodies the White Sun, but has a hard time channeling her inner Black Sun. She often sees frightening, evilly smirking reflection that suggests a darker side to herself. Regan Jude is tormented by his on-screen alter ego Birdman, which a raspy internal voice constantly compels him to embrace. Like Nina, Regan does eventually give in to her alter ego, further loosening her grasp on reality. Third, both films played with our perception of reality by portraying certain events as real, that are later exposed to take place only in our protagonists' minds. In both films, many scenes feel slightly surreal enough, giving us up to their mental. However, in the movie, a black zone refers to any event that is rare, has an extreme impact, and is explainable and predictable, but only in hindsight. There happen the same things in Birdman too.
It is a coincidence that both of the two movies have the names start from a letter B. However, there are also many similarities in theme. One of the most remarkable themes in Birdman and Black Swan is reality versus fantasy. Now, let's start with the question: what are reality and fantasy? Well, reality is the thing that actually exists. Fantasy is the imagination or mental image that forms in characters' mind. There are several questions that most movie lovers have for Birdman. Question 1. Does Regan die at the end? Most people are confused because of Sam's reaction. She is smiling and watching the sky in the last scene. It really misleads audience to think Regan is having fun flying in the sky. But the truth is, Regan is lying on the road and becoming the traffic obstacle. The traffic sound from the road is the clue for finding out the truth. Question 2. Does Regan actually have superpower? Well, in the beginning, I also think Regan is a Superman. He can hand in the air, move things without touching them, and he can even fly as a bird in the sky. However, those scenes are just the imagination of Regan. The taxi driver pursuing Regan for money and the shot of Regan holding the Birdman poster when Jake appears. Those two examples tell the truth that Regan does not have any superpower. Now get to Black Swan. There is a scene when Nina comes back home from pub with Lily. There is also the imagination of the main character. Audience can easily tell the truth because Lily denies it in the conversation.
No.
There is another good example of the imagination from Black Swan, the pair of black wings, which is grown when Nina is performing Black Swan. But this shot here shows the reality and the fantasy all together. We can easily tell that the wings are the mental image from Nina. Nina's shadow in the stage curtain is one of the best shots of the movie that shows its cinematography. The purpose of that is to reveal characters' inner thoughts. Nina thinks of herself as a growing black swan. In terms of theme, Birdman and Black Swan have all shown characters' imaginary thoughts, but they also tell us the reality. The two main characters have their own ambitions, but both of them need to face the challenge of the peer power and also the society. A lesson I have learned from the two movies is that everyone will have various thoughts, but it is useless to change the truth. Unless you work deadly hard, then you may get closer to success.